Hello and welcome back to Dukascopy TV. Now, impact investment is all about creating returns out of social and environmental favourable circumstances. Some sources say that the area of investment could run into billions of dollars within the next 10 years. Others aren't so sure. Well, with me to look at this in a little bit more detail is Cheryl Hicks, the specialist you're the Quadia Sustainability Investment Partner, and we have Guillaume Taylor, who is the Managing Director of Quadia. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Hello, Thomas. Thank you.
Just to clear this up, because it's something I'd like to know, and some people I know as well would like to know, is do you think impact investment, particularly when we're looking at its impact on the environment and benefiting the environment, isn't really just about sort of turning a profit out of the green bandwagon?
Mm-hmm. We believe at Quadia that investments in the companies that are directly addressing environmental and social issues, urgent sustainable development issues, are better investments. And we believe that because we believe that those companies are more relevant to society and the needs of society today, and increasingly the future needs of society in the future. Okay,
Guillaume, how would you measure such an impact?
Well, there are different ways of measuring impact. We can do it on a passive way and just wait for organizations to label companies. So X, Y, Z company fits within sustainable development norms. Or we can measure it actively and say what is our impact, what we're trying to achieve, what value creation do we want to have, social and environmental value creation. So we can take an active role and start looking at the whole value chain of the company. And so we do it in 4 different ways at Quadia. We look at the global stakes, what industries, what type of companies are going to drive industry, are going to be able to scale up social or environmental added value, and is their model replicable? And then we look at the company itself and the value chain of the company, and then we decide, we're looking to see whether that company not only changes its practices, but it can influence the whole value chain. So even if a company does a lot of work to bring down its carbon footprint itself in its manufacturing process, it also needs to look at its whole value chain. And so that's what we do. We're looking how these companies are influencing that value chain.
So moving forward then, I mean, looking sort of perhaps further into the future, how is impact investment evolving? I mean, some sources have said that it's a growing area of investment. How is it evolving in that respect?
It's evolving by trying to understand what the global sustainability or environmental stakes are, or social stakes are, and that's the difficulty of this job. Is what are we trying? Value creation. What does it mean? And is it sustainable? And I think the bottleneck or the bottleneck in this industry is understanding the impact. I think the financial performance we understand, but are we really creating value? And intuitively, we can say that by planting trees in a property in Panama that we're saving the planet. But how are we planting the trees? Are we really doing it well enough? So you need to look at the quantitative aspects, but you also need to look at the qualitative aspects.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is just finally, just throwing it back to you, Cheryl. Is there sort of big money to be made out of this?
We believe that there is. As we said, we believe that companies of the future, to be relevant, they will have to be addressing these issues because resource scarcity, poverty, we have to address these issues if we're going to be relevant in the future.
And it depends on what you mean by money. What we're doing right now is trying to quantify and put a value, an economic value to the externalities. And if you look at nuclear energy, when we look at the cost per megawatt of production, it's very low compared to some renewable energy production. But if you factor in the externalities, it's the cost of Fukushima, or you factor in the pollution that certain fossil fuels produce, then suddenly the financial returns are calculated differently.
That's all we've got time for, though. Thanks very much, both of you, for coming into the studio, though. That's all we've got time, as I said. Stay with us, though, throughout the day. We'll continue to bring you updates and interviews. We've got an interview with La Jeffy coming up next, but until then, goodbye.